Chapter 30. The Machine. The beams of the dozer's lights pierced the darkness as the machine chewed its way through the woods toward them, splintering small trees in its way and crunching over logs, rocks, stumps, everything. "Come on," TJ shouted. "We can intersect her." "Intercept," Francie corrected him. Her inner English teacher would probably be the last part of her to die, she thought. Frederica Ricard had pushed Francie's kayak off the island, started a forest fire, tried to drown her, and locked her in a closet with the promise that she wouldn't live to discover her own talents. So Francie was pretty sure the woman would not only willingly drive a bulldozer over her and her friends if they stood in front of it, she'd probably relish it. What could they do? Once again, Francie thought of the folktale princess who, in order to make her escape, flung things over her shoulder. A mirror, a comb, mascara, a tube of lip gloss. "Hey," she cried, feeling the lumpy plastic bag in her pocket. "I've got some kind of fireworks." She pulled the bag out and showed it to them. "And I've got a lighter, too." TJ was impressed. "You got a string of ladyfingers and a couple of black snakes and... Cool! A mega thunder bomb!" "What does this mega thunder bomb thing do?" "It's like a little bomb." "Can it blow up a bulldozer?" Francie asked. "Not really," TJ answered. "Curses," Francie said. Nels, in the meantime, had retrieved a shovel and set off purposefully in the direction of the rumbling sound. "Where are you going?" Francie called after him. "I've got an idea," he yelled over his shoulder. "Yeah, well, I've got an idea," she yelled back. "And your idea is firecrackers?" he called. "Not just firecrackers. I've also got a mega thunder bomb," she shouted. "And your idea is a shovel?" "Listen." Nels stopped and turned back toward her. "I worked one summer on a road crew, so I know at least a little bit about bulldozers. If you can think of a way to make her stop or at least slow down, that'd be helpful." "Where did TJ go?" Francie asked, realizing he had disappeared. "I hope he's well out of the way and hiding. That's what you should do too," Nels pleaded. The noise grew louder, and suddenly the machine appeared through the trees like some horrible monster, roaring and gnashing its teeth. Its twin yellow headlights bounced wildly off tree trunks as it jounced over the uneven ground. Nels strode straight toward it, while Francie stared after him for a minute. She intended to follow, but the sound of shouting and crashing behind her, the blur of men's voices, and a yelping dog, then the high, pale, distant beams of 4 or 5 flashlights, stopped her. The sheriff and his deputies would have to arrive right now. She stood paralyzed for a moment. Should she try to explain to the sheriff one more time, or run after Nels to stop him before he got killed? She could see him moving toward the oncoming bulldozer, dodging from tree to tree to stay out of sight. As the machine passed under some low-hanging branches, Francie watched as something fluttered down from the tree, something slick and shiny, and draped over the driver. The dozer slowed as Freddie struggled to remove the tarp from her head. While she was occupied by this, Nels dashed out of the trees toward the bulldozer and rammed the shovel blade into its track. Okay, Francie thought, that was clever. But then she watched as Freddie pulled the tarp away, swiveled her head, and zeroed in on Nels, who was dashing away toward the trees. The woman shouted, then pointed something at him. "She's got a gun!" Francie yelled. And before she even knew what she was going to do, Francie bolted from the trees, lighting and throwing sizzling firecrackers at the bulldozer. Whooping and screeching, she ran in a zigzag pattern, aided by the lumpy ground that made running in the straight line impossible anyway. The firecrackers went off in rapid machine gun fire pops. When she reached the machine, she tucked herself behind it and, using Freddie's fancy lighter, took a moment to light the mega thunder bomb, scrambled up to the side of the dozer, and popped the little bomb down the smokestack.